Today, I'm going to be reading chapter 26 of Ground Zero by Alan Gratz. This chapter is titled Under the Burqua. Rashmina ran up the stairs of her village, taking them two at a time. She didn't see any American soldiers or any Taliban, not yet. Was she in time? Rashmina burst through the front door of her house. "More, Baba!" she cried. Two Afghan men with their rifles were sitting just inside the door, and Rashmina jumped back. Who were they? Why were they here? Marzia and Moore came in from the woman's room. "Rashmina, it's all right," Marzia told her. "The village sent them to guard us and the American." So Taz was still here? That meant Baba wasn't back from the A&A base yet. "Where have you been, Rashmina?" Moore demanded. "Where did you get all those scratches, those bruises? You're filthy. The Taliban are coming, Rashmina cried. "They know the American is here. Bassoon told them." The guards jumped to their feet, and in their faces a mix of shock and horror. Anna came into the front room with Zahir in her arms. She had heard everything. "Go and warn the others in the village," she told the guards. "Tell them they must get to safety." "Where?" one of the men said. "What place is safe?" Rashmina grabbed her mother's arm. "Moore, let's take everything we can and leave the village. Let's go to Kabul." "Go to Kabul?" "Kabul," Moore said. "You foolish girl, that must be 300 kilometers. It would take us days to walk there, and days to come back." "I mean go and never come back," Rashmina said. She was tired of standing still. She wasn't sure that the capital was the right place to go, but it had to be better than their village. "We'll live in Kabul forever." Moore looked at her like she'd lost her mind. "Without land to farm? Without a place to live? Nonsense." "Anna still has family there, don't you?" Rashmina asked her grandmother. There must be someone, a nephew, a distant cousin, child," Anna said in that infuriating tone adults use when they were going to dismiss your idea out of hand. Anger flared in Rashmina. It was just like her mother to say no, but a not to. Why couldn't they leave this village and the Taliban behind it, never come back? Move forward, even if it was hard. "Now is not the time, Nana Jan," Anna told her. We need more immediate solution. Many people are in danger." Rashmina huffed, but her grandmother was right. Running away wouldn't save the rest of the village. But where could you hide an entire village? Hide. Rashmina remembered playing hide-and-seek with Bassoon when they were young, and suddenly she had the answer. "The caves," Rashmina said. "The caves beneath the village. We can hide there." "Stay and watch the American," one of the guards told the other. "I'll go tell the others." The guard hurried off. Moore and Marzia began gathering things to take with them, and Rashmina followed Anna and Zahir into the woman's room. Taz still lay on a mat, sleeping. Rashmina was relieved to see him alive, but he wouldn't be for very long if they didn't move. None of them would be. Rashmina dropped to her knees next to Taz. Anna had wrapped wet cloths around his wounds, but fresh blood had already soaken through some of the blank bandages. Anna had also wiped away the black marks on his face from the explosion, but the skin around his eyes was still bright red and raw. "Taz," she said. "Taz, wake up. We have to go. The Taliban are coming." Taz instantly jerked awake. "What? Where? Are they? What are they? Are they here?" "No, not yet. But they will be soon. I'm sorry, but we must move." Rashmina, Taz said, anguish in his voice as he blinked. "I still can't see." I will lead you," Rashmina told him. "Follow my voice like before." "Pakow, pakow." They heard shots in the distance. Rashmina knew what that meant. The Taliban were almost here. The guard rushed from the other room. "We have to go," he cried. The guard helped Taz to his feet. Rashmina frowned. How were they going to hide Taz until they got him into the caves? Anna was one step ahead of her. She came into the room with an old blue burqua, the kind of garment women had been forced to wear outside during the rule of the Taliban. It was a robe that covered every inch of a woman's body, from head to foot, with a small mesh window to see out of. Some women still wore them by choice, but not Rashmina's mother or grandmother. Put this on quickly, Anas said. The guard helped Taz into the burqa. It hid his head and his shape, but the material only came down to his ankles. Rashmina just had to hope the Taliban wouldn't notice that the woman under this burqa was wearing American Army boots. Come, Rashmina said. We must hurry. The guard took Taz's elbow and led him into the front room and out the door. Rashmina, Marzia, and Anna followed along with more and who carried Zahir. The steps down through the village were already crowded with people who'd been warned by the other guard. They carried children, chickens, bundles of clothing, treasured possessions, anything of value they could take with them. Rashmina's family went slowly, staying with Taz and the guard. As they descended, more and more people joined them on the twisting switchback stairs that led them through the gray and brown stone walls of the village. Higher above them, toward the top of the village, something exploded. Patoom! And Rashmina froze in fear. She turned to see the hilltop glow orange with flame. There were more cries and more gunfire. The Taliban had arrived. Thump! 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 And a Pakhi helicopter thundered by overhead, and Rashmina ducked instinctively. That's my people, Taz cried, recognizing the sound of the helicopter. Rashmina's heart sank. Now the Americans were here too. That was good in one way. The Americans would keep the Taliban busy, but in another way, it was very, very bad. Now the village was a war zone. Taz stopped in the middle of the stairs. Maybe we can just flag them down, let them know where I am. Patur, patur. The helicopter's machine gun erupted, and something exploded in the village with a boom. No, not now, Rashmina told them. No, nope, not now, Taz agreed, letting them hurry him along. Rashmina suddenly heard the familiar sound of a missile hissing across the valley and turned to look. The villagers all around her knew the sound too, and they ducked, giving Rashmina a clear view of the thing as it streaked across the valley. Shtoom! The missile slammed into a house on the hillside, and the building exploded. No! Rashmina cried. Rashmina, what is it? What happened? Taz asked her. Rashmina couldn't find an answer, couldn't find the words. The rocket had just destroyed Rashmina's home. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.